And hello, everyone. Welcome to Learn a Trade channel. My name is Kevin Tate. Thank you for joining me today. The name of today's show is Manitowoc Fountain Machine and Cornelius Viper Machine Repair. I'll be getting into a couple of things with some repairs I went through, and I think this will be helpful to those of you who are out in the field and working on this equipment, either Manitowoc or Cornelius. But first, I have some information I want to put out there for you all to maybe have an opportunity for some training. Um, Manitowoc is offering factory training, and you can find out more information on the Manitowoc factory training by contacting this email that's on the screen right now. Um, just reach out there and ask for request the training schedule. I have that training schedule up right now for you. If you'd like to copy some of those down or take a look at them, you can see um, what they're getting into as far as their dates. The course number is there, so you can reference that course number also. But that might be a pretty good training. And they did mention in there that their training was going to be geared more towards whichever level is the majority of the room. So as you see here, it says level 3 training, but they're seem to be getting away from that now to just gearing it towards the majority of the room experience. So, I would, that's definitely something that you can look into. And again, I'll put that email back up so you can copy that down. That factory training would be held in Wisconsin, Manitowoc, Wisconsin. That's their address as well, right there on the screen. And here's their tech support line, Manitowoc Tech Support. Always good to have these numbers. Excuse me. So that's the Manitowoc Tech Support line. Here is the Cornelius Tech Support line, because I will be going over Manitowoc equipment and Cornelius equipment today. So hopefully you're able to get those down. And then just give me a moment. I'll get the other still shots set up so that we can go over those. So just give me one moment and I'll have that up and we'll get going. So yes, I have that screen back up now. Let me just share another piece of information for you. It's scrolling across the screen right now, but if you're interested in attending a free FBD training, send me an email at learnatrade1, the number one, at gmail.com. That's learnatrade, the number one, at gmail.com. You can send a statement of interest that you're interested in possibly attending this free in-person training by FBD, and I will get your name on the list and I will send that forward, and then you should be able to hear something in reference to uh, signing up and finding out the information about the upcoming training. There's not a set date for it yet, so there's still time to just go ahead and get your name on the list at least. And then now I'm going to get started on the Manitowoc fountain soda machine. This is an older unit that you're seeing right now. This unit was having some problems with the, try and get it a little bigger there, with the Mountain Dew flavor, um, the vitamin water flavor, and they had also had a problem with the replenish orange flavor. These were all leaking. That's what was happening. These valves were continually leaking. If someone would hit the selectors button and select like replenish, it would pour into the cup fine, but then the syrup would just keep pouring and pouring and pouring. So they were going through product like crazy because the, these three valves were doing the same thing. The Mountain Dew, the replenish, and the vitamin water. They were doing the same thing. So I had to go in there and I replaced these valves. So that's what I will be going over today. I'm going to go over a few steps that I took to replace these valves. That this may be helpful to you out in the field. This is the data plate of the Manitowoc fountain machine. This model is a FRP 250. It's a 250 model. It runs off of 115 volts, 60 hertz, and that's their data plate. This is the valve that I will be replacing. This valve right here. This valve is for that Mountain Dew flavor that I was showing you on the front. So with these valves, I'm going to show you about them because it's a dual flavor valve. So off of this one valve, you can run two flavors off of it. So you'll see that this area right up here with the black and the white. Um, the black is the rear block assembly. This is what the dispenser valve connects to. And this rear block has shut-off valves on it on the top. That's these white knobs up here. So that's for each flavor. The position they're in right now, these valves are turned off because I'm going to be removing the dispenser head. So uh, naturally, you want that valve turned off so you're not getting a ton of syrup coming out at you. This is a top view, like a forward view, because this portion right here will be facing you when you take off the merchandiser. And as you can see right here, this is the Mountain Dew line. I marked it um, just so I could remember which line is which, because sometimes it happens where you get tied up and you lose track on what flavor was where. So this is a way that I mark my lines just to keep me up on which line goes where. But this is the top view of the valve, and you have one flavor here, the Mountain Dew, and then there's another flavor right below it. Um, I believe that was a Dr. Pepper flavor. I think it was a Dr. Pepper or a root beer flavor, but you can run two flavors off of this one valve. This is the back view, so you can see the two lines that we were just looking at. This is the back view of it. Okay, you have your solenoid coils up here. You have your paddles that are right in this area here. Those paddles will open up with the when the valve opens up to allow syrup to flow through. This is a larger picture of the area. You see the two lines coming off of the valve right here, and, and then you see some more valves on the right and the left of underneath this valve. So these valves here are also going to the module where the nozzle is, and these lines here, you can see they're thinner. These are your flavor shot lines, so they're also running flavor shots off of these valves too. And for those who may not know, the flavor shots are like cherry, vanilla flavors, cherry, vanilla, lime, lemon. Um, they use like 3 or 4 different flavors like that, and customers can press those buttons. Those buttons are usually in the middle, but customers can press those buttons, and then their drink will get a shot of that flavor. Okay, so these are for the flavor shots, and a lot of a lot of C stores now are getting away from using the flavor shots anyway. So I mean, I'm sure they still have stores that use them. I mean, this store still uses them, but for the most part, a lot of the C stores are no longer using the flavor shot options anymore. The machines have them, but they don't have them functioning. But moving on, these are all of the valves going down to the nozzles, and this is the valve that I'm going to be replacing. This top one right here. I'm just showing you the pin that holds this this um, dispenser head to the rear block. So this is that pin. That pin has to be pulled out in order for you to remove the head. So that's why you want to make sure you shut off your two valves, your two syrup valves. And then right here, I'm just showing how I'm removing the pin. It has three uh, 3 posts on it, and those posts all line up with a slot, and then you just push it in. You know, once you're ready to reset it, you want to make sure that it's going all the way through, or else you won't be able to open up your valves back here when you're ready. So it has to go down flush with this area here, and then that way these knobs will turn when you're ready to turn on your flavors. Right here I'm putting in the new replacement dispenser head. Putting it on, putting the pin in, pushing it down right there. And now I'm putting the tubes back on, the beverage tubes back on for the flavors. And just remember, you have to remove these first in order to get this valve off. So when you remove those, that's why I mark them so I don't uh, forget which one went where, because then you'll end up having the wrong flavor coming through the nozzle. So I'm putting these back in place now. Putting back on the Mountain Dew. That's the new dispense head, all assembled. This is the wire here. Okay, that's the wire for the coils, and those just go down and they plug right in. They plug right into another terminal that's coming off of the board. And right here, I just wanted to show the back room, because before you start a repair like this that I'm doing, it's always good to come in the back room and shut down, um, disconnect the lines that you're going to be working on, the syrup lines you're going to be working on, locate those flavors and disconnect them from the bib box. Okay. And then it's a good thing to also go ahead and shut off your CO2. Shut the CO2 off to the machine, or to those that one valve. Sometimes you're able to do that, sometimes you're not. If not, then it'll be best to shut the CO2 off to the machine completely, so that you're sure that you're not going to have any back pressure coming out at you when you disconnect anything. And then right here, I wanted to show, this was another repair on one of these valves that I saw was leaking. The valve was leaking right between the point where the valve, the dispense head, meets up with the rear block right here. So that dispense head was leaking. It was leaking out of here. And I don't know if you can see it, but get it closer. Down right inside the hole right here. This is the the syrup was leaking out. This is where the syrup was leaking out at. And there's a little blue seal that's inside of there. That blue seal is what needed to be replaced. These seals get worn down, and they're supposed to be replaced during every PM. But honestly, a lot of these places now, they don't really get the PMs as regular as they should. So this was leaking, so I had to replace that. So I just wanted to show a little footage on how I replaced that seal. And basically, you already have the dispense head off. You have that dispense head off, and you want to remove this bracket, this silver bracket right here. This has to be removed in order for you to get at the blue seal that's inside. And then right here is where I pull off that bracket. And right here, you just want to remove that bracket. Get a little closer for you. And that's the blue seal right in here. You see them on both sides. Usually, what I'll do is, since I have that off already, I just replace both of them. I replaced both of those seals, even though it was just this one leaking. I'd rather replace them both at the same time because if I end up having to go back, I already know that I just replaced those seals, so I would be aware of that. I wouldn't have to guess, did I replace that seal or didn't I? Or did I just replace one seal? This way I know I replaced both seals, so it makes it a little simpler. So what you would do here basically is just pull off that bracket, um, use a use like a pick to pull out that seal, the blue seal that you're going to replace. Pull them out, put the new ones in. Go ahead and reassemble your rear block, and then attach your dispense head to it, and then you would be done with that. Now this here was another um, thing that I found that I wanted to share with you is the multiplex rubber drain elbows. These are the elbows that go on the drain of this fountain soda machine. And the ones that, while I was there doing this call, I noticed that the customer had a leak coming from underneath the drip tray. So I took a look at it and I seen that they needed to have these elbows replaced because let me show you. That was the part number, by the way, for those seals, for that elbow. I mean, that's the part number there. If you want to take that down, yeah, right here. These are the old seals. These are the seals that were on there. And what was happening is these had, excuse me, these had holes in them. So it was the water that was leaking out from the cold plate. It would leak out and then it would drip back here behind the drip tray, and then it would accumulate underneath the drip tray and then run out onto the floor. So those needed to be changed. This is one here. I got an arrow showing you where the hole is. If you can see that a little better there. But yeah, that had a hole in it, and it was, the holes always end up right behind, just behind the drip tray, so it ends up dripping all over. And then this one here, this is a big hole, and then they have another one right up here, but you can see this one plain. It's like a big hole right there. So those needed to be replaced, and that's something that should also be checked during the PM. So just keep that in mind too, to check your drain elbows. Make sure they're not split or cracked or anything like that. That's something that you should always check. Okay, and then next here, I'm going to go into this Cornelius Viper repair. I think this will be a good one for those who are out there in the field to to see. We'll go over a few things on the screen. We'll go over replacing the beater bar and the viscosity sensor. I always have problems pronouncing that, but the viscosity sensor, we're going to replace that, and a beater bar. And then I'm going to do a bricks and take you through a few of the menu screens just to give you a heads up on that. And you can see the Cornelius tech support line up on the screen right now. If you want to take that down, These numbers are important. They're always good to have, so you don't have to go scrambling looking for them and stuff. And I don't know if you see it, but right up here, this is the merchant door that I have. I have it open, but the thing is these legs on these merchandisers, they're hydraulic legs, but they always end up uh, going bad. And when you lift them up, they're supposed to stay up, but a lot of times they don't stay up. That thing could be dangerous because they're pretty heavy. So just to warn you and give you a tip, I use my pinch offs and I place it once I get the merchandiser all the way up. I put I squeeze my pinch offs on around the bottom of it to hold it up, make sure it's gonna hold up and stay up because that thing's they're heavy, and if they come down on your head, you can get hurt. So just that's just a little tip to help you out. But yeah, I'm gonna be going over that in this little session of the video. This is the data plate. So, model is Viper 4, 230 volts, 20 amps. It's using 404A refrigerant. Uses about 108 ounces, I believe. 108, yeah, 108 ounces. That's the data plate there. This is the viscosity sensor. This is the viscosity sensor. Okay, that's this piece here with all of the legs on it, little white legs on it. There's another separate piece right back here that pretty much stays stationary. So that's not connected with this. The viscosity sensor is separate, and you'll see in a minute. But that's what I'm going to be replacing. You can see that tip unscrews first, and then the viscosity sensor, you can just screw it off. It screws off as well, the same way as the tip. And right here, I'm removing the viscosity sensor, the damaged one. See, it's missing a leg right there. So I'm removing that, and then I'm going to put the new one in place. That's me putting it in place, and then I got it screwed on, and then I have to screw on the tip that holds it in. And that's it, reassembled with the new viscosity sensor on it. Okay, that's on your faceplate. For those who aren't aware about these, this is your faceplate. Okay, and I just replaced the viscosity sensor on the faceplate. This is the beater bar. This is damaged beater bar. See it lost the arm right there. Okay. This is the new one that I'm gonna put on. This is how the new one goes on. These blades are situated in a certain way, so they do line up a certain way, and they have like little notches in like one or two of the holes, and you'll be able to line those notches up, and then it stands and goes in place. But you got to kind of hold it the way I'm holding it here to keep it together, and then you can set it up into the barrel. Say like that, it'll slide right into the barrel like that. You want to make sure it's lined up so that it meets up with the rear motor shaft in the back. And then if you see right in the center there, that empty space right there, I'm gonna put there's a washer that goes in there. It's like a blue washer that sits in there, and then that helps keep the beater bar even, and it doesn't let it have a lot of bounce, because if you don't put the insert in there, it will bounce around and make noise. And there you can see that's the insert that I put in, this blue insert. And then I have it reassembled. I got the faceplate back on, and then now I'm gonna fill and let it freeze down. But first, before I do that, I'm gonna take a bricks. Gonna check the bricks on it and adjust it if I need to, and then from there I can let it fill and freeze down. Right here for you all to see, I think you can make that out. But right here, these four regulators, each regulator is for one of the barrels. Okay, so there's four barrels and you have four regulators. These regulators should be set um, between, I would say, 35 to 40. Okay, a lot of other people, they would rather just go 40. Okay, but sometimes I have had some that I've had to go to like 35, but it's usually between 35 and 40 psi that you want to have these set at, these regulators. Okay, and over here you have your sample tubes. These are your sample tubes right here, right there. Got sample tubes for each barrel. Then if you look on the labels you can see it says barrel. Right now, all of the barrels are pointing to barrel, all of the knobs. And if you wanted to do a bricks, you would have to turn that knob from barrel to bricks. And then that way you'll be able to go into the menu and do the bricks. I'm about to do a bricks on barrel 4 right here. So I have that knob. I brought it from barrel down to bricks. And then I will go up into the menu, and then you can press the button on bricks, and then it will automatically dispense a bricks amount for you to test. Right here, I'm going through some of the menu options that you'll see, and I'll give you another little tip on this here, on this menu that Cornelius has created, this menu item. Right here you have on the main menu, if you press these buttons match up with the names up here. Okay, you got back, main, setup, maintenance, and go. So when you hit main, this is what you're going to get: unit data, error status, error log. And you can go into those, and you'll be able to view if it was an error, and then you should be able to clear it out and stuff like that. Okay, so the thing I want to touch on this part right here, let me bring it a little closer. But what you see right here, sometimes you'll run into a machine that it'll have back, main, setup, and then go. This maintenance won't be in there. You won't see it. And I want to tell you how to fix that, because you could be at a loss if you're not able to get into the maintenance section of the menu, because that's where you do bricks, that's where you do um, your readouts and stuff like that. That's where everything goes on for a service tech. So there are times that you're going to come across it on these models where that maintenance part won't be in there. That means that someone enabled the security on it. So it's in security mode, and if you're not aware, you're never going to figure out get how to get in there, and sometimes it's hard to even locate it in the manual. But it is in the manual. But just in case, if you're ever in a jam and you run into one of these units that you can't find the maintenance button for it, it doesn't come up. What you do is you press and hold this button right here, the first button and the last button. Okay, you press and hold those at the same time, and press and hold it for 5 seconds. And then you're gonna hear a beep, and then you can hit back and then hit main, and then you will see the maintenance up there. You'll be able to go into it. So hit that to disable that security setting. Press and hold the first button and the second button and the end button. I mean, press and hold the first and the end button for 5 seconds, and then you'll be able to disable that will disable the security on it, and then you'll be able to get into maintenance. So I hope that's clear for you. So now I went ahead, I adjusted my bricks. Bricks is good. Bricks is at 14 for this blue raspberry. 14, 15 is a good bricks for these. And I went ahead and filled the barrel. And now it's ready to go into freeze mode. Give me a second. All right, so it's back in freeze mode now. Going through freeze mode, all the settings, readouts are looking good. This right here, let me show you here. See, this is how the screen will look when it's in normal position, when you're not going into maintenance or anything like that. So that's how the screen will look like that. And this is how the screen will look when you go into main. This is what you'll see when you go onto the setup link, that setup button. When you hit that, you're going to go into being able to set up the clock. You can set up events, like for it to shut off at a certain time of day or time of night or something like that. But usually no one programs anything into events. Your viscosity setup, that's an important one to be able to go into. And then your option setup. So you'll be able to go into all of those screens. You just use your arrow keys to go down or up or left or right. Just remember that. Okay. Then next we go into the maintenance menu. So in the maintenance, this is where all the action happens. This is where the service techs go. You have your barrel maintenance. That's where you'll be able to do everything you need for each barrel. You have manual diagnostics where you can go in and test just about every component in there. You have your totals, your bricks set up. So you need this maintenance key to come up for you. So that's why I mentioned that disabling that security mode if you ever experience it, because this is where you're going to do everything. You're going to set your bricks, you're going to check your bricks, you're going to be able to do your motor setup for how many motors, um, testing the motors off and on, stuff like that. Then you have your system set up. So this is a very important key right here for on this touchpad for a technician. So just remember that. Then you'll be able to go into all of these screens. So like if you wanted to go into barrel maintenance, you would go ahead and hit the go, and then it would take you to the number one barrel and let you know what's going on there, and then you can go through that to check anything. If you wanted to go to manual diagnostic, you can press the down key, go down one, the down arrow, I mean, go down one, then press go, and then it'll take you into that menu. If you wanted to go back up to barrel, you could just hit back and then hit the up arrow to go back up into the barrel and then hit go. So it's like that. That's how you can navigate through this menu. This is the part number for the viscosity sensor. Hopefully you can make that out. Made it a little bigger there, but that's the part number right up here for that viscosity sensor. And this is the number for the beater bar that you saw me replace. That's the part number right below here. And that's an old clip. But yes, that was what I wanted to show you all. Hopefully this was helpful. Don't forget to reach out to Manitowoc about the training, the factory training. Okay, and let me know in comments if you get to go. Let me know how it was. Um, Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let me know your comments about this video if this was helpful, and if there's anything else that I might be able to put together for you that would be helpful. Let me know. Let me know about that as well. Don't forget about the FBD in-house training, in-person training, and contact me through email. Just send me an email. Let me know you're interested, and I will forward your name onto the list. And you should hear something once they are ready to set up their training. But that's all I have for now, everyone. I thank you all for watching. Stay well, everybody.